let's talk a little bit about this Cowboys Steelers game. I think this game was telling in a few ways for me. I think this game shows us that these Cowboys are still a talented man-for-man franchise. Like, this is still a team that is talented on a man-for-man basis. We saw some good plays out there against the Steelers. We saw this team, on a 19-9, holding a 19-9 lead. We saw their defense making some plays, in crucial positions, but a lot of times they got, those plays that they made were basically nullified by mistakes that they made on the other half of that, on the other part of their defensive structure. Like, you get to the quarterback, and I think it was a baloney call, but you get a roughing the passer call on a 3rd and 7, where this was a definitive drive to hold the Steelers from making any progress and to give the Cowboys a chance to try and ice the game. And from there, you just watch the Steelers dink and dunk the Cowboys into submission. And I think that, and I'm going to share this screen here with you guys. Let's see. Because I am getting together my Steelers offensive line breakdown from this game in particular, because their offensive line is they're being protected. I think that the Steelers O-line is being protected pretty well right now. I think that their play calling is keeping them out of danger. I think that they are getting the ball out of Roethlisberger's hands as quickly as they can. And I really do think that if you take a little bit deeper look at some of the more fundamental things that they try to do as an offense, I think you'll see that the Steelers' offensive line tends to struggle with moving defensive fronts. They're not very sound when they're dealing with defensive fronts that move around, and they're not very sound when they're dealing with moving or replacing that defensive front 2 to 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. They're not getting a lot of push. And you see that in the very low amount of yards per carry that they're getting out of James Conner. James Conner went 9 for 22 for 2.4 carry for a long of 6. And I think that long, that 6-yard long, I think that was like in the first quarter. So there's some real, I think there's some real issues on their offensive line that are being covered up pretty well. They're doing a decent enough job of keeping it from getting exposed, which is a credit to them. They're playing to their quarterback strengths, unlike what you saw with Tampa Bay, which decided they were going to run, an entire play action, against a team that knows that you're passing the ball when you're down 4 scores. Play action's not working. Sorry. But Steelers are doing a good job of covering that up. And that is that's what's keeping them, that's what's keeping their offense in position to catch up, in position to make plays later in games when they're struggling to really move the ball. I mean, the Steelers have had a lot of really long drives this season, but it's really, everything is predicated on their short passing game, on their quick passing game. They're using tight ends a lot. They're using a lot of quick draw routes, and I think that's really where their consistency has been its best. That's where they've been able to move the ball down the field. They can get a deep ball every now and again. They usually try that middle third every 4 or 5 passes, but there is really it's really a very simple game plan, and they're just executing it right. And that's why, with the help of an excellent defense, a defense that that was on the field far too long against the Cowboys, but still found ways to make plays. I think that they bailed themselves out as a team because the Cowboys, while talented, you knew that it was going to be harder for them to win the game with their offense. And that's something that you usually don't hear about the Cowboys. But the defense played well enough. But, when you're on that kind of roll, when you're 8-0, when you're 7-0, trying to make it 8-0, I mean, it's hard to beat teams that are on rolls like that. Teams that are moving like that have a lot of momentum. Mentally, they have a lot of momentum. They know that the break is coming to put them over the top. And the teams that are losing a lot, like the Cowboys, that's 2-6 at the time, that's a team that's waiting for the bad break. They know that the bad break is coming somewhere. They know the bad break's coming somewhere. And Big Ben got hurt in that game, or almost got hurt. And I think that he got the couple of magic beans from the team doctor, and he was able to come out and knock it out. He got some magic, and he was able to knock it out, finish the game off, and get the win, get the W. But Cowboys, obviously, this is the pain, the misery continues, and they're still in the division. They're still in the division race. They still have the ability to actually make the playoffs, which is that's just something that I think we're all scratching our heads about at this point. But yeah, those two games, I just wanted to kind of, draw back into those. I'm going to be having my O-line breakdown, and I'm going to be having a special guest in that O-line breakdown. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so that when my offensive line breakdown video drops, you get to check that out as soon as it premieres. Hope to have that ready to go by Saturday. So make sure you smash that bell notification.